When in doubt, pause. If you're ever in doubt in terms of making a decision, taking a step of faith to do something, or if you have a dilemma about making a choice concerning anything in your life, when in doubt, pause. Do not move and do not step out to do anything until you're crystal clear on what you're supposed to be doing. The reason I say that is because a lot of times we may have decisions to make, and especially at a time where our mind is cloudy and we're unable to make choices and decisions effectively, you may end up making a bad decision in a high pressured environment, or in when you're under pressure to give a decision right away. In one of my videos, I referenced when someone asks you for a favor, or when someone asks you to do something, when someone asks you to help them out, whatever the case is, and you're not certain, but you know that you don't want to say no, so you just go ahead and say yes anyway, just to please the person and just to get them off your back. This could even be a salesperson. Sometimes you go to the car lot or whatever, or you may pass a table at a mall or whatever, and someone is really, really all over you trying to get you to buy a item that they're trying to sell you, and you just say okay, just to get them off your back. But in the end, you're actually cheating yourself out of doing what you are supposed to do for yourself. You're cheating yourself out of saying no because you want to please that person, or you don't want to say no. You don't want to disappoint them. You want to please them. And so you just go ahead and you say yes. This can be any situation. I'm just giving you a few examples, but it can relate to anything in your life, anything in the world. When it becomes a practice, when we make it a practice to just say yes off the bat, just to say yes because we don't want to go through having to go through the back and forth or argue or whatever the case is. We don't want to not make a decision because then that's something we have to do later. And so we just rush the decision and do it right away. It ends up being a situation where a lot of times we can't undo it because we've already done. We've already made the decision. We've already said yes. We've already made a commitment. And when we make a commitment, it's 2025, it's a new year, where we make a commitment, we want to keep our word. We want to be a man or woman of our word. So we want to keep our word, and we want to stay committed to what we say we're going to do. We cannot do that when we rush decisions, when we rush a process, when we rush, saying yes to a proposition, to a business proposal, to a new friend, even if it's saying I love you to someone too soon, or saying yes to a proposal, to a marriage proposal, or, if it's saying yes to a new job. You have 5 job proposals at one time, and you have to make a decision as to which job you want to take. 4 of the 5 are going to lose out. So you're going to have to go back and say, I'm sorry, I can't do it. But, actually you want to say, can I get some time to think about it? Can you give me a day or two, or whatever the case might be, so you can get back to them? And then you make a decision, and then you turn down 4 and you accept 1. But there's no way to accept all 5 and go back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I accepted another job. And, oh, you're going to have to do that 4 times. And then one of them will win you, as the new employee. The reason why I'm saying this is because our word is bond. Our word is bond. Say that after me. My word is bond. So when you say yes to something or to someone, you're making a commitment to you and to God and to yourself. Because when we break commitments, we're actually making a practice to break commitments to ourselves. Not only are you breaking a commitment to that person, but like I said, you're breaking a commitment to God and to yourself also. And so that's why the word of God says, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. Let no be no and yes be yes. And when those words come out of your mouth, let those words be certain. Let those words be let them not fall to the concrete, but let them stay afloat and let them be solidified in whatever you do, so that when people talk about you and when you get a reference for a job interview, you ask someone if they can be a reference. That means that they know your character, they know your background, they know, you as a friend or as a coworker or whatever, or as an employee. They can give that word that, that person should hire you because they know your integrity. Okay, they know your character. That's the word I was looking for, character. So with all of that, we want it to be where when people talk about us, or when people, are witnessing our character and our lifestyle and everything as men and women of God, we want for God to be glorified in our lifestyle. When people talk and they say, oh, do you know Bobby? Do you know Linda? And yes, oh my God, he's such an amazing man. Oh yes, I know her. She's an amazing woman of God, or she's an amazing person, or she's so pretty, so beautiful. Always, she's a great person of character. She keeps her word, or he keeps his word. People value people who keep their word and don't renege on what they say they're going to do. You want to be that kind of person this year, that and that's something I'm still working on. If that's something that you're still working on, it's okay. I have never arrived when it comes to, character building and integrity and working on ourselves. We are always working on some part of our character and personality to improve on. And I'm not saying that every day will be perfect. No, there's always areas of improvement in life. And this is an area to be talked about. Because I think in today's society, everybody's word is just, it's frivolous. It's not taken seriously. And people will even use the word love, lightly. And they would say they love you, but they know that behind closed doors, they're saying junk about you, trash about you. And that's why it's so important to have that discernment to know who's real and who's not. And that's why it's also important to say no. Some people need to say no because they don't deserve you in their lives. They don't deserve you in their presence. They don't deserve your friendship. They don't deserve to date you. They don't deserve to have you as an employee. They don't, all of these situations I talked about earlier. Some people don't deserve you. And God wants us to know this year that not everybody deserves to be in our company. Not everybody deserves to be in our space. Not everybody deserves to have our name in their organization and under their business. Not everybody deserves to say, I am her or his friend. Not everybody deserves to know who we are. Not everybody deserves to know our business. Not everybody deserves to know what we're struggling with, even our victories. Not everybody can take hearing our victories. Not everybody can take hearing our victories. That includes family, co-workers. It could even be something on the job where you got a promotion and you tell your coworker, oh my God, girl, they gave me that promotion. And that person will envy you from that point on. Probably not show it, but they definitely will envy you from that point on. And so here we are, 2025, and we're reflecting on what we can do great, what we can do better, where we can go, what we can tweak, in our lives. And so this word is not only for you, it's for me too. God is saying in this year, right? To be a woman and man of our word. We have to make our word bond. We have to make our word bond. Without our word, we got nothing, right? And so we have to practice saying no, saying, I'll get back to you. Can you give me a day? Let me get back to you. You know what? I'm not too sure about that. Let me check my budget, to see if I can help you with that bill, and if you can't, just say no. I'm sorry. I'm going through too. But guess what? I'll keep you in my prayers. In fact, can I pray for you? And whatever. And so, saying no is not a life sentence. Saying no is not, like carrying a weapon where you shooting someone in the face, And I'm sorry for such a graphic reference, but it's some people take it as, they, hyperventilate and all of that when they have to say no to somebody. But it's not that serious. And people want to hear you say no. Sometimes people just want to hear you say no because they understand you have your own life and whatever. And if someone can't say no, that means that they are controlling. They want to control everything and everyone in the world. And if people don't do what they say to do, it's a problem. But guess what? That's not your problem. That is not your problem. So, I just wanted to leave you that word because I woke up this morning and praying to myself, and that dropped to my spirit. I thought that this would be a word not just for you, but for me too. Because this year I'm also, tweaking and changing some things, modifying some things. And this is something where God is saying, you know what? You need to say no to a lot more people. When I tell you to say no, say no. When I tell you to say, we'll work on this or whatever, we will do that, but, and I'm sorry, as I'm talking to you, there's some text messages popping up. So, but the whole point of the matter is, let our word be bond. Okay? Let our word be bond. And in the spirit also of my previous videos where I said don't quit, when you say no at first to what is not for you, whether it's a relationship or a job offer or a whatever, right? Or proposed, someone wanted to try to date you or whatever the case is. When you say no from the get-go, from the gate, there's no entrance into your life, into your heart, into your space. So you don't have to renege and say, you know what? Oh my God, my gut told me not to do this. My gut told me, my spirit, my intuition said that this person was going to do this to me, was going to hurt me, was going to betray me. Something in my spirit was not at rest when I met this man. Something was not right in my spirit when I met this woman. Something was not right in my spirit when I got that job offer and I had that interview. It was something in me that said, oh, it's 6 figures, but there's something about this proposal. And so let's listen to our intuition much more. And you can listen to your intuition when you really give yourself that time to think. And, even if you got to take a day to make a decision or to get back to someone or that person, or even if you have to make a promise to yourself and that person is you, that is why you have to be clear about your boundaries and your goals. Write down in your journal, on a piece of paper or on an index card. I don't care what it is, on a napkin. Write it down. Write down what it is you want to do this year. What are your goals this year, right? And how are you going to keep that commitment to loving you? Okay? Write those things down. If that means no dating, if that means dating, if that means, eating a certain type of diet, not eating this anymore, but eating this instead, going to the doctor, exercising, going to the gym, you know, whatever it is, write it all down and make a promise to yourself that you are not going to go back on your word. When people ask you for ridiculous stuff and you know you don't want to be part of it, just say no. Just say no. It ain't nothing. Just say no. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not interested. And that way you don't have to renege later and say, oh my God, I know I said yes, but I have to say no now. No. And sometimes, that happens. A lot of us have been through that. I've been through that too, where I had to, go back and say, I know I said I could do this for you, but I'm sorry, things have changed and I have to take that back and I won't be able to fulfill that commitment. But guess what? Instead of doing that, if you give yourself time to think, tell the person, give me a day or give me a couple of days or whatever. Let me get back to you. If it's an emergency and they need it right away and you feel in your spirit, you can't, commit to anything right now, just say no. And they'll find someone else. I guarantee you they'll find someone else who God will bring to help them as well, So, that's it. Let your yay be yay and your no be no, right? But make a promise to yourself this year that you are going to commit to taking care of yourself by making sure that your word is bond. You don't want to put yourself through the stress of having to do damage control and repair situations that could have been avoided if you had not gotten involved in the first place. And we all go through that, but this year we can avoid the stress of going through things that were not meant for us to go through. You know what I'm saying? We can not have to step in the mud. If we only know the mud puddle was there, we would go around it or go over it to avoid it, right? We don't want to mess ourselves up that way. So let's be careful with our words this year. Let's be careful with what we say yes to. And also let us, say no to what God is saying to say no to. I'm not saying to say no all the time, because there's some things that we have to say no to. There's some things we have to say yes to, is what I'm trying to say. But if we have to say no with confidence. God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So we're going to get out there today and we're going to make it a great day today. We're going to have a great year. This is going to be the best year we've ever had. And by all means, know that God is always with me, that God loves me, that God cares for me. He will never put me in a position where I would regret being a part of. And like we said previously, yes, there's some offers where there's some situations where we say yes to something and we have to go through the fire because he's purifying us. And so that can be a bit confusing. I get it. But you just have to know what God is saying. What is your gut saying? What is your intuition saying? What is in here saying? What is your belly? What's in here? What is it saying to you? Is this good or is it bad? Is this right or is this wrong? Okay? And so it takes time to gauge that. You have to gauge it. Get an understanding of what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, etc. So that's the word for today, okay? We're going to be careful with our words this year. Let our yes be yes, let our no be no. And we are also going to not commit to anything unless we've given it thought. Learn to say, let me get back to you. I need to give that some thought. Let me get back to you. And you can also say no, thank you, but no thank you. You can also say gracefully and elegantly, you can also say, that's not for me. I'm good though. Thank you. All right. And you can also say, I need a couple of days. Can I get back to you on that? I need a couple of days. And don't let other people's emergency be your emergency. Ever. Okay. If it's an emergency for them, it's an emergency for them. They will get it fixed. God will make a way. All right. Because we're not Superwoman or Superman. Okay, we're not. So with that, have an amazing day, guys. This is our year 2025, and I'm so excited for you. So Let your word be bond. Bye.